Hey kids, LaVoice in your head here with your Friday roundup of random. Well, I tried to avoid it, but Florida is just so freaking weird that we're back for another installment of Florida Man. But this one, possibly, has given me the idea for a novel. Anyway, here's the story. Headline: Fort Myers, Florida man found sunburned and disoriented on Sanibel Causeway, claiming he was kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city. Yeah, Lee County Sheriff deputies responded to the Sanibel Causeway, where a motorist reported a man standing on the shoulder of the road, soaking wet and drawing blueprints in the sand. That's important. That will come back up later. According to the police report, Ricky James Hollowell, 33, was found barefoot, severely sunburned, and wearing only swim trunks. He told deputies he'd been taken against his will by a pod of dolphins 3 days ago and forced to work on what he called, quote, an underwater construction project. Underwater. Hollowell claimed the dolphins approached him while he was swimming off of Fort Myers Beach and escorted him to a site, quote, approximately 40 feet below the surface, end quote, where they needed help building structures. He told the officers the dolphins communicated through a series of clicks that he eventually learned to interpret. Pretty quick study, our boy Hollowell, huh? And that the project foreman was a dolphin referred to as Gerald. When asked about how he was able to breathe underwater for 3 days, he said, quote, Gerald handled that. I didn't ask questions. You don't question Gerald. End quote. He had drawn an elaborate blueprint in the sand that deputies described as detailed enough to be concerning. Okay. Including what appeared to be condos, a town square, and a recreation center. He told officers he was released because the dolphins were satisfied with his work, but Gerald said they'd be back for phase 2. Responding, Deputy Sean Oakley told reporters, I've been with the sheriff's office 11 years. The blueprints were the part that got me. He had zoning. Hollowell was transported for medical evaluation. Gerald was unavailable for comment. Big surprise. Now, I was going to end this one here, but there was such an internet uproar over this story that the local police there had to respond, and here's what they had to say. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is setting the record straight after an outlandish online rumor claimed marine mammals were behind an underwater construction operation off Florida's coast. Note that the internet completely disregarded the idea that the guy reporting it may have fallen asleep in the sun with no water for a few hours. Nope, it's Florida, so they just went with it and assumed the construction story was real. The story gained traction after a widely shared social media post referencing the Florida resident who reported being kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city. The sheriff's office responded with a tongue-in-cheek statement assuring residents that the region's real estate market has not expanded below sea level. Deputies said they tasked their fictional underwater construction investigation team to look into the claim, and according to the agency, the dolphins that inhabit southwest Florida's waters deny any involvement in the supposed deep-sea development. Oh, well, if the dolphins say so, that's all right, isn't it? While the rumors sparked plenty of online laughs, the sheriff's office emphasized that the situation is purely humorous. The agency added in a playful disclaimer, no dolphins were harmed in the making of this rumor. Well, obviously not. I mean, you'd have Gerald to answer to if you did. Officials say the only thing underwater in Lee County is the usual mix of fish, shells, and sea life, not construction crews or ocean-dwelling architects. And that's just what they want us to think. Anyway, join me, LaVoice in your head, next week for more random weirdness and pop culture commentary. But until then, remember, if your favorite MC is Escher, you're probably nowhere near as cool as you think you are.